Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball HTB. Hope you all. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. If you're new, you know what to do. But in saying that, sit back, relax. I've got you covered. Look, I'm going to be doing my Checkmate series. Again, for those of you who don't know, please look at my prior video where I give you guys an explanation of values and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into it too deeply this time around or the next, following so forth. But for now, before I get into it, hit that intro. Alright guys, so like I said, look, this is going to be a chess / NR video where I'll be basically evaluating your player's value using chess pieces basically, and we're going to pretend that there are only 2 pawns as opposed to 8. So in saying that, without further ado, I'm going to be doing 2 teams. The first team are going to be the Knights. Following them will be the Parramatta Eels. And yeah, again, it's just for fun, it's subjective. Feel free to tell me what you guys think. Again, this will all be done before the NR season. So then by the end of it, we'll reflect and see which pieces stood out, which pieces climbed, so on and so forth. So in saying that, we'll get into it. So for the Knights, I have the King, Kalen Ponga. What can I say there? He's the untouchable player there. He's the king there of the Knights. He's the marquee player. Puts bums in the seats, and these rumours swirling that he might be getting the captaincy. So if that is not king to me, I don't know what is. The Queen is Daniel Saifiti. He is, in my opinion anyway, the second. He's the bodyguard, right? The second go-to. He is such a phenomenal player, such a strong ball carrier, running, fit, strong, powerful, everything you need in a prop. And he's done such a good job, and he's grown leaps and bounds. And I believe he's definitely the second most valuable player at the Knights. The Rooks are Barnett as well as Fitzgibbon. With Barnett as well, just a very tough, solid player. Again, similar to Fitzgibbon, those guys probably play a very similar style, very tackle orientated, and especially with Barnett as well, he doesn't mind a few good carries and a few good tackles. Fitzgibbon as well, to me personally, is just a good all-round player, and defensively is good, and will definitely grow in leaps and bounds. But for me, has definitely shown to be a very reliable player, much like Barnett for the Knights. The Bishops I have is Bradman Best. Again, upcoming starter. I mean, obviously he's been there for a few years, but get what I mean. Granted, a few injuries have hampered him. However, I do see him coming into the season as stronger, more robust, more ready. And he's just such a fan favorite, I think. He's just built like a brick, right? And he runs like one, he's strong like one. Looking forward to seeing how he goes this season. And then the other Bishop for me is Dan Gagai. He returns, he comes back to the Knights, comebacks home, so to speak. How is he going to go? How are things going to pan out? Unsure. But in saying that with Gagai, you just know one thing. He's going to give it his all, and he wants to bring something home, right? And who else is better to go to than Dan Gagai? For the Knights, I have Clifford as well as Frizzell. So with Clifford, not much needs to be said there. An amazing player. So strong with the ball in hand. Such a handy player to have. In saying that, though, obviously he does, in my opinion, probably carry a bit of weight for the Knights, particularly in the offense. As a half that he is, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays. Obviously, he can grow. His game can grow. Granted, there's that. But yeah, I see him as a Knight there. The other is Tyson Frizzell. Again, with Tyson Frizzell, such a good, strong player. Is a veteran as well. Obviously, has been there. He's been there before. I see him as the leader for the team to some degree, especially in the forward pack. Somebody who is vocal, somebody who is strong, can guide the team around. And I see him there as a good player, and I have him as a Knight. So for the pawns, I have David Clemmer, as well as Dominic Young, that is. So with David Clemmer, again, another veteran. He's been around the park a few times. He's a strong ball carrier off the bench, someone who's sturdy. Obviously, in my opinion, he still holds a bit of presence in that team, and obviously is still a player that the Knights want to build off and obviously to work off as well. And I see him as a very good player. Still, right, despite the age, despite probably being a bit slower, but again, somebody who is still very important to this team. And the last but not least, I've got Dominic Young, and obviously this UK international Jamaican heritage is somebody who, in my opinion, can grow. I see him as a pawn, but realistically, if the sky's the limit, which I think it is for him, he could be the king in the next 3 to 4, 5 years time. Will be a fan favorite, can be. The dreadlocks, the way he runs, plays. He's a player who wants to learn, who wants to get better, and I believe he can. And yeah, it's a good place to be for Dominic Young, starting there. But yeah, guys, those are my pieces there for the Knights. So yeah, again, please tell me what your thoughts are. We'll go from there. Parramatta Eels. All right, so for King, I've got, King Gutho, obviously. Their captain, their go-to guy, their leader, their source of inspiration. If you need a good spray, that's who you go to. I see him as being the most valuable player for the Eels. The Queen, look, this was pretty controversial. It could have gone either way, but for me, I put down Isaiah Papali'i. He hasn't been there for long. I get it, one season last year, but for somebody who's put his foot down and wants to work and play, and has played so well, he to me is definitely the Queen there. He's definitely the second most valuable player, and somebody who I think, granted he's leaving the end of this season, granted somebody who will, I'm sure, put his hand up and give the Eels just as much, if not better, than what he did last season. For the Rooks I have is Paulo, as well as Moses Mitchell, and again, that's Junior Paulo. So Junior Paulo, again, being co-captain this season, I see him being a player that the Eels will be able to rely to regarding running, defense. Mitch Moses as well, right? The halfback position, what's he going to bring? He's still important, though at times he does, slip here and there, but I think he still holds an integral and important part to that Eel structure, and to me will be one to look out for. Bishops is Reed Marnie and Regan Campbell Gillard. Marnie, just what a player, what a hooker. Just what a zippy, defensive, high IQ player. It's a pity that they're losing him at the end of the season, but I do see him as someone pivotal. He can absolutely bring it home, and I'm sure he'll be gunning for that premiership this season. RCG, strong, hard player. The moustache as well goes with it. Very good player, very solid. During their finals run as well, he was a player who stood up for him defensively, offensively, and again will play a huge role for them this season. For the Knights, I have Sivo. Micah Sivo was just amazing. As a winger, you sort of see him. He's a strong, solid player, very tough. Obviously knows where the try line is, that's for sure. And somebody who gives us all. Throughout the years playing NRL, it's been good to see him grow and play. So for the night as well, I also have Ryan Madison. Ryan Madison is another player too who fits well with the Eels. Granted, a few injuries here and there, but I mean, when he comes back, he always puts in 100% effort, without a doubt, and is looking to have a big season, in my opinion, this year. For the Pawns, you have Dylan Brown, as well as Benny Sini. Benny Sini, I'll start off with, is just an up-and-coming player, but I think he will definitely solidify a spot in the center position. He's a strong ball runner, definitely not too bad on defense, but again, we'll learn, get from there. Dylan Brown, you could say he's probably fallen a few pieces, but in saying that, to be still in that value is a good thing regardless, right? It's where you sort of end up at the end of the season, but I do see him as playing some sort of a role this season. How does he sort of gel with Mitch Moses will be telling, but in saying that, with someone like him, to expect the unexpected, his ad-lib footy is always good to watch, but that is who I have there in the pawn. Alright guys, those are my thoughts there with those players. Feel free to tell me if I'm right, if I'm wrong, you know how this works, but in saying that guys, I'd take it easy, appreciate it, and just remember, hold the ball. See you guys next time.